Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about horse shopping. Yes, and the experience I have had so far.
No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. Can somebody save me, save me?
Alright everybody, today I'm going to be talking about horse shopping, and as some of you may know, I have been on the search for horse number 3. Yes, amazing, horse number 3. It kind of blows my mind every time I think about it. So the purpose for searching for this third horse is I really want to get into the sport of barrel racing. And first of all, Buddy, he's old. He has his knee, which I'm sure plenty of y'all know about. If not, then you can check out some of my older videos. I talk about it. And then you have Rio, and he is getting a bit older, but too, he's just not built for this kind of thing. And on top of that, because he's much older, like teaching him all of this stuff, it's just better to go ahead and get a horse that either already knows it or is young enough to be taught. So anyways, the whole purpose of my search was for barrel racing, but I had some very specific things that I was looking for. I kind of was like, I want a gelding. I don't really do mares. I've had some bad experiences on mares, and that's not to say that mares are bad. I've heard tons of people who are just mare people. They love mares. And for those of you who don't know, a mare is a female horse and a gelding is a male horse that has been fixed or neutered or, you know. Anyway. So my point is, geldings tend to have a much more calm demeanor and they tend to be easier to work with. Mares can sometimes be very moody, surprisingly enough. Females. What you gonna do? But gelding was my preference. Now, I decided right off the bat that I was not going to be picky because I wanted to be open to whatever God had for me. Like, I told him, I prayed, I said, okay, here's what I prefer, but I'm open to whatever. So, then began my search. So, with the whole thing of coming in about the time I started kind of looking around anyway and all of this stuff, a lot of the places that I was looking was on Facebook. There are plenty of groups on Facebook you can find, areas near you for even specific horses like barrel racing, horses for sale, things like that. So I have a couple groups, like 3 or 4, a couple. I actually have a few, 3 or 4 groups that I have been following, and you see all kinds of posts. They tell you a lot about it, and that's where I was looking. So the first horse that I found was a little buckskin mare, and I was really excited about it. This was really the first one. Not the first one I had actually contacted people about, but this was the first one that was A, in my budget, B, the age that I was kind of wanting, around the age, and C, had already had some barrel racing training. So she kind of fit in everything. The only thing that I was a little bit apprehensive about when I went to go see her was her height. She was fairly short for a horse. She was probably about the same height as Buddy, which I can ride because I'm kind of a short person, but still, short is kind of, anyway, it's not everything. Height isn't everything, but it was a little bit short. It was just right on the edge of being a pony. Anyway, so I had planned on looking at this horse with my trainer. I've been planning on looking at any horse that I was going to buy with my trainer. Well, something happened, and it ended up that my trainer was not going to be able to go with me. And I had already scheduled a time to go look at this horse. Something just came up. It wasn't a big deal. It was whatever. But I was like, oh my gosh, like, I've never done this before. Like, the most that I've done is Buddy. I went and saw him, but it was a friend of mine who was selling him, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, I got on, whatever. And then Rio, I bought from a friend too. So this has really been my first experience with truly horse shopping, like going around and looking at horses and trying out horses and all that stuff. So I went and saw this horse by myself. One thing that had been happening was most of the horses that were fitting into kind of my categories were all out of town, like in Georgia. And so I have done a lot of driving. So the day I went to go see this horse, an hour and 25 minutes of driving. I finally get there. I'm at a stranger's house, you know. So for me, I'm like praying the whole time, like, God, just give me peace. I know what I'm doing. I've ridden a horse before, because I start thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what if I get on this horse and this lady's like, do you even ride horses? Like, are you an idiot? You know, those are the kind of thoughts that go through your head when you're doing this kind of thing. Anyway, so I get there, meet the lady, super nice, just very inviting, very much just helping me and just talking to me, answering my questions. I go and meet the little buckskin mare. She is, oh my gosh, cute as a button and so sweet. Just very much just let me just kind of do whatever with her. For me, one of the things that I do when I first get around a horse is I just start kind of touching. And I get to the back of the horse and I'm just touching. I kind of pull on her tail. Now, okay, I take precautions. I'm very cautious. I make sure that I am safe. Like, I don't do anything stupid, but I want to see how spooky this horse really is. And two, like, just kind of like just rubbing my hand, like I would stand to the side and rub my hand down her butt to see, because mostly they'll just kick out backwards. Anyway, so those were the kind of things I did. I picked up all her feet, see if she gave me her feet easily, touched her face, kind of like barely kind of touched her ears, just wanted to see, you know, just see what she was going to do, because that's a big indicator. So I got on this horse. I had been told that she had just gotten back from like a 30-day training period of being barrel raced. So I asked the girl to get on her first, just so I could see. So she got on her first, walked her around a little bit, did some trotting, and then I got on her. Now, one thing about barrel racing, there are many different ways that people train their horses. And one way, which is what they call, is kind of like the quick and easy way. I mean, I say easy, but they just run the barrel pattern constantly. Just run it. And it is really not a good thing mentally for a horse to go through, is just to constantly go through the barrel pattern and not do anything else and not learn anything else, because then every time they see a barrel pattern, they get super anxious and they feel like they just have to run the pattern. And so it's really not good as far as keeping their manners in check, and they also just can't even think about anything else. So it's not good. Especially since this horse had only been back from this barrel racing training for like a couple days, and she had been trained that way. So I get on her and I'm walking around, and I'm going to show y'all some clips of me riding her, but you can see that she was quite a bit uptight. She wasn't very soft in the mouth, and we were riding around barrels because that was the best way for me to see what she was really going to be like, because it put her in what they call the worst situation. So if she was going to act out, this is where she would act out. That way you got the full, real view of what she was like when you were riding her. So I rode her, and it was great. And I mean, as in great, like nothing bad happened. I was able to control her. I started getting confident because, of course, I was already nervous. And the lady was like, don't judge my riding. And I said, I won't judge yours if you don't judge mine. So it was really good. I was really pleasantly surprised by the experience, even though I really did not care for this specific horse. So after riding her for a little bit, first of all, she was not a registered horse. She is what they call a grade mare. And then she was also really short, and she was also really high strung, and I had a very hard time keeping her kind of under control and relaxed. Another thing was, had been raining really bad the day before, and so I was unable to do anything faster than a trot. So I wasn't able to canter her and really feel her out. So even though it was a really good experience and I felt really good about going up here and getting to try her out, I ended up saying no to this cute little buckskin mare. Now, quite a few months went by, and I was still looking, and every time that I was looking through a horse, it always was a short mare. There were always like 14 hands, which is, well, not 14 hands exactly, but like 14.5. They weren't quite 15 hands high, and that was kind of like the minimum that I wanted, about 15 hands. And none of them were. They were all mares, no geldings. For some reason, there were just none. I could not find any. And if they were geldings, they were way above my price range. So it was a really difficult time as I was searching. And I was just really getting discouraged because I was like, great, it's going to take me so long to find this horse. So I kept praying, kept looking, and I came across this little Palomino grade mare, and she was 15 hands high. She was in my price range, it was really perfect. So I traveled 2.5 hours, and once again, something came up, and it just is what it is. But the day that I had scheduled to go see this horse, my trainer was unable to go with me. So I, once again, by myself, traveled 2.5 hours to a stranger's house to check out another horse. When I got there, the mare was really sweet. She let me kind of do whatever with her. I did my whole thing. I went around her, picked up her feet, did whatever, and it was really nice because the girl was like, she usually isn't this good about letting people just do. I mean, she wasn't like horrible, but like what can sometimes be stubborn about picking her feet, and she can sometimes be a little apprehensive of new people. So it was a really good sign. Like, I was like, okay, she's kind of telling me the negatives right off the bat, so that when I am messing with this horse, I'm not feeling like she's trying to be like, oh, this horse is perfect. Anyway, do y'all know what I'm saying? You know, I kind of was just, I admired that she was saying negative things, but it wasn't happening. I don't know. Anyway, don't listen to me. I'm blabbing on. Anyway, so we lunged the horse first. I automatically, she was beautiful. She was a beautiful Palomino. I really liked her. She lunged her. She got on her, trotted, cantered her. Now, this horse had sat for a really long time before she got her. So basically, she was kind of refreshing her anyway. So there were a couple things that she needed to work on, and some of them were her transitions, as in from walk to trot to canter, just being able to understand what I was asking her, and also staying consistent in whichever one I wanted her to go into, which was not a big deal for me. I just thought, you know, if she's a good solid horse, then I mean, we can work with that. She is still pretty young, so she can be taught. Anyway, so I sent some videos to my trainer because she was telling me, she was like, okay, I'll keep an eye out. Just let me know when you're texting me and I'll watch and give feedback. So after I even got on her, I enjoyed riding her. She really made me feel pretty comfortable riding her. We decided that we wanted to at least take her and get her vet checked. Now, that's 2.5 hours from my vet. And honestly, here's the thing. I wanted my vet to check this horse because it wasn't that I didn't trust the girl, but I had to make sure that if I was going to spend this much money on an animal, that I knew for a fact it was safe and solid and healthy, whatever. She agreed. So what we did was, I had a contract where I went ahead and prepaid for her because I thought, I don't want to have to come all the way back up here, do a whole bunch of stuff if we go to my vet and she clears. So we set up a time for the vet, and we exchanged money and signed a paper that said if she fails her vet check, then I would get the full refund back. So this girl was very professional, super sweet. I've just had super good experience. I have just had the best experience in this horse shopping as far as the people that I've met. So it's been amazing. And so then it was just waiting. We were just waiting for me to take her to the vet to be checked out, and then we would see. So the day arrived, and we went all the way up there, and we got her, and we brought her back, and we had the vet check done. Well, here's the thing. It was a very long drive, so I had to pay for her to travel, okay? Now me, I was expecting her, no problems, we're going to go to the vet, just formalities, like she's going to check her, and she's going to be like, oh yeah, she's perfect, and then I'm just going to have this horse, whatever. So I'm like, it's no big deal. She'll pass. We'll be fine. It's expensive to get her down here, but that's pretty much it. So I got a call from the vet, and it turns out there were a lot of underlying issues. And I'm not going to say it's not. Now, here's the thing. The girl who I bought her from, or was going to buy her from, was a really sweet girl who truly was trying to train this horse and help her and all that thing. She was not in any way trying to scam me, because if she was, she would have never agreed to having me take her to a vet to have her checked out, because then I would immediately know, oh, well, she just failed her vet check, so. Plus, I had a paper that I signed, so if she did fail her vet check, she would have to refund me money. So either way, there was no point in hiding things. There were some underlying issues that were not truly visible when you were just riding her for a little bit, testing her out. They just did not come up. So they actually had to do a little bit more looking to actually see what was wrong. And when they discovered what was wrong, it was definitely beyond what I could handle as far as financial wise, her vet bills and all that. So I messaged the girl and let her know what the issue was and that we would be bringing her back in the next 4 days, which was fine. She said we could do that. She felt really bad. Like, she kept telling me how sorry she was and she couldn't believe that all this had happened. And I sent her the report from the vet, and she just continuously apologized to me. And I was like, it's okay, it's okay. This is why we get the vet check. And I said, I'm not blaming you. I know that you've only had her for a little while and you just didn't know. So we took her back and she refunded me my money, and I was pretty depressed. Now, I'm going to say to you this. The entire shopping experience in this horse world and dealing with people that were selling horses, I have just had the best experience, and I think a lot of it has to do with just these people just being so like, we just want to do what's best for our horses. We love our horses. And so I was just really blessed, and especially just, praying about it, just looking at different horses, it's just been the best experience, even if it was disappointing. Now, one thing I really want to talk to y'all about is the fact that if you are looking for a horse and you are doing your horse shopping, to definitely, first of all, take the horse to a vet, okay? I don't care what horse it is. I mean, the horse that Buddy, when I first bought Buddy, before I bought him, I had a vet come out and check him, okay? Before I even bought him. And that was from somebody that I was friends with. The reason is because there could be things that even they don't know is wrong with him that would probably be financially an issue, or could end up being something that maybe later on you wouldn't be able to ride them or do whatever you were planning on doing with them. Always take someone who's experienced in horses if you do not feel confident. It is really important to take those people with you. They can help you with questions that you might not have thought of. They can also help you with observations they make in a horse that you might not notice. And for me, the 2 mares that I did check out, yes, I was messaging my trainer back and forth, but it's a lot different seeing a video and being in person with a horse checking them out. It's totally different. And third, know what you're looking for. Have some kind of already like, this is what I'm looking for. I want this gender, this breed. I want them to be able to do this things, and I don't want them to be older or younger than this age. It's very important to go ahead and have those things in your mind. That way, when you're looking, you can start cutting out unnecessary things. Also, if you really, really, really feel anxious about a certain thing that's not what you want in a horse, listen to that feeling. It will save you money and it will save you time. Because yes, no horse is going to be perfect, and you need to be able to have some flexibility in your decisions. But if it's something that you really, really, really just kind of makes you feel uncomfortable, it's better to just wait because the right one's out there. Now, I will also say again, there's always things about horses that is going to be a little issue, okay? You're never going to get a horse that is 100% perfect, that is in your perfect budget, unless you are a freaking millionaire, okay? If you can just afford any horse you want, then yes, if I was paying that much money, I would be a lot more picky. But if you're not in a huge budget, you don't just have unlimited money to spend, you have to be a little bit flexible on what you can kind of let go. Some of it might be age. Maybe a year or two older or a year or two younger, depending on what side of the spectrum you're looking for. Maybe there's something about the way they walk that you go to the vet and they say, now this could potentially just need some maintenance, but it's not going to stop you from riding the horse. There are different things like that you just have to consider, and it's always best to consult your vet and consult your trainers. Anyway, guys, I am just very thankful. God has really helped me through this search. He has been very good about closing doors, even when I was really stubborn to kind of push the issue. He's made sure that I knew without a shadow of a doubt this is not the right horse. And he has given me wisdom and peace in each decision that I have made. He has also given me amazing people in my life that have helped me through this entire thing. Now, I will say I have extremely good news, because after much searching and much exhaustion, I have actually purchased my 3rd horse. Yes, you heard it here. I have horse number 3 already. So if you do not follow me on Instagram, you will not have any idea what this horse looks like. You will have no idea what gender the horse is, color, whatever. But if you do follow my Instagram, Brattle95, shameless plug, then you will already know what this horse looks like and who this horse is. But if you don't want to follow my Instagram, I understand, that's fine. You'll just have to wait till next week when I do an introductory video on this particular horse. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this video was very informative. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or even anything to add to what I have said about horse shopping, I know everybody's had a different experience and everybody does things differently. Just comment below. Really appreciate it. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next week. Can't wait to introduce my new horse to you. Don't forget, be brave, be brave. I'll see you next time, guys.